Hey everybody, it's the Last Robo Guy here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Prey. We're going to try to go to deep storage today, but it's not going to happen. I'm just going to warn everybody now.
Deep storage has been showing up in our chatter for I've lost track of how many episodes it is at this point. At this point, I'm thinking it's something more like Shangri-La, a place of white clouds and cotton candy that simply doesn't exist.
Yeah, but there's at least a very good reason why we can't get in there, and we'll be seeing what that is, and we'll also be seeing a little bit more of the station. This one's a big one. This one's a doozy. So let's get stuck straight in. We're taking an elevator ride. We're back up to the
honestly,
arena.
I was a little bit taken aback by the no access symbol right in front of us. I was just like, you don't tell me to stop, I tell you to stop. And now the power's out. That's awesome. Oh, hi!
The elevator is not safe.
Jeez Louise. Double Dragon ain't got nothing on this shit.
Yep. I suppose I kind of spoiled the surprise a bit by backing up there and giving him room so that I could murder him violently, but it's like, I ain't fighting a phantom fairly in a closed space.
I mean, I was still taken off guard by the jump scare, so you didn't spoil it too bad.
I mean, in those situations, putting your back to the wall is probably the safest bet.
Just
we
so
know that
we know that
it'll
you
crawl
can't
through
have
the
something
walls.
hit you in the butt. Yeah, I mean, I can get behind that.
I have like altogether way too many armor repair kits.
Get your junk sorted. Disrupt your stun.
And it'll only get worse.
Of course it will. Like that's the nature of these sorts of games. You play them. You start to collect an inventory. You're just like, man, I can think of so many ways this could be useful. But deep down, you know that those ways are never going to happen.
So the area is a little more occupied than before.
Little bit. Uh-huh.
Be very quiet. I'm hunting phantoms.
Damn! Dude never knew what hit him.
The shotgun is a beast now. The Margrave is murder incarnate, and as such, everyone will be murdered.
I see absolutely no problem with anything you just said, and I look forward to subscribing to your newsletter.
Not nearly as much as I thought there would be. we are just gonna be piling on the materials throughout this run.
Honestly, materials are the only thing that are of critical use to you that doesn't take up inventory space. So, truthfully, I'm a little bit surprised you didn't do what I probably would have ended up doing and just like taking out an entire or like looting an entire area and turning it into more materials than I would ever need.
Yeah, so this is the thing I missed, and that gives you a password to the greenhouse if you want to get. Yeah, she ain't doing so good. So
that was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, she always wibbly wobbles like that. It's a bit alarming.
She honestly looked more annoyed than dead.
Something weird happens here as well. Seems visit to the black box has opened up something, and although it's probably a little hard to read with the red font, that's a corrupted military operator.
Oh dear.
Huh.
That's not fun.
It's pretty much the same as all the other corrupted operators, I believe.
Except for the fact that it probably has a fucking Q-beam?
I don't know.
Never let it get out of control, huh?
Yeah, like I'm not entirely sure if they're supposed to spawn like that or not. But if they did, so I guess they do. I will admit, in most of my previous run-throughs, I just never got around to like doing the black box area, so I don't know if just like that's a thing that happens
I'm
afterwards. Just be
really
like,
kind of looking
hey,
forward to what the Q beam will look like when used against you. It seems like one of those things that is more hurtful in the player's hands than the enemies. But this game has already proven me wrong on multiple
well,
gut reaction fiats like
assuming
that.
they ever managed to successfully make the Q-beam work on them, I can't remember.
I mean, you were taking Q beam cells off the ones in the black box. I wasn't paying close enough attention to see if you were pulling them off the one that you demolished.
Oh, yeah, here's a section I mentioned last time. The bridge.
Oh, all right then. That's a handy
this
fabrication plan.
I have so many handy fabrication plans. I'm going here now because well, a little something changes on our way through next time.
The mimic is just trying to bodyboard around, and you just happen to be there at the worst time. Just like random Typhon corpse. What was that?
Yeah, there's been a fight here. You know, there are a few places in the station where the Typhon weren't getting their way without a fight. So I wasn't able to show it off before, but that's essentially what the fire tower does. It lays down a trap, and when the enemy gets close, it detonates on them. And you can just put it on the enemy, and it detonates them. And oh god, there was a suicide.
Boogers.
And it's actually kind of handy like that. Like you know, like being able to set a high damage fire trap is quite handy. There is really only one enemy in the game that it doesn't do anything to.
Notably, the Phantom type that you learned that trick from in the first place.
Yep, the thermal Phantom. Which doesn't, you know, it's kind of funny because that makes it sound a little less intimidating than it actually is.
Yay!
There we go.
Honestly, like my interpretation of the first Typhon corpse we just saw was that the Typhon were fighting each other there for a moment, which is what really confused me. That would have been definitely revolutionary.
Yeah, the bridge was actually like, you know, not well armed, but you know, okay armed. So they put up a bit of a fight for a while.
Yeah, instead of folding. What is this?
I was just checking to see if there was anything down there.
Okay.
Like it's just my looting instinct to always check over and under.
For a minute there, I thought you were looking for something specific, and I was like, oh man, do they have like some sort of hobo shack underneath the walkway for no good goddamn reason?
There probably is one later, and I'm just like, my brain is like constantly going, I must find this hobo treasure hold. The fabled hobo vault.
The
hobo vault of Telos one.
Or basically everybody else is playing Alien Isolation while you're playing Prey.
That's probably what it is for everybody else in the station. It's probably like, oh god, I can't let this little thing find me and kill me. Oh god, oh help! It's stalking me through the station. And then there's Morgan just traipsing through, just grabbing a Phantom by the back of the head, putting a shotgun next to their like back, and just going, "You aren't supposed to be here today." Kaboom.
or frickin'. I just got the opening slide to the Doom comic running through my head. Dynamite.
Yes. I have crawled up there. I couldn't find anything. If anyone's ever found anything up there, I find in the looking glass behind the scenes stuff, there's always like lots of rafters and stuff, but it's never anything up there. It's very sad and upsetting.
Stand clear. I was wondering what that like ridiculously ornate sign was supposed to be. Are you angry?
They seem somewhat aware of me, possibly because of the
flashlight.
Yeah.
That was my thought. Honestly, I'm still a little bit surprised that we had the replicas in Fear 1 reacting to flashlights, and almost no enemies since then have.
Unless it's like a specifically stealth game.
Right. Popstar. Oh yeah, just go ahead and drink all of the energy drinks. That certainly isn't going to make your hand shake.
Yeah, shout out to everybody who starts liking the sips joke. The sips meme. Let me take that
what
note.
is
I don't
that
want the
note? Show
podcast.
me the note. I hope today is memorable and happy. Well, it was memorable
Yeah, some
at
of them,
least.
some they're having a celebration for somebody on the bridge, and worst party ever. I don't even think it was a birthday. I think it was like you've been working here for too long.
Yeah, one of honestly, I've never understood the point of those things. They're just like, it's your 1 year anniversary at work. And I'm just like, oh god, have I really wasted that much of my life working with you jerks?
Stone Cold. This is a man that doesn't settle into the yoke of capitalist oppression so easily.
Well, I mean, I've definitely said that if I'm still working for other people when I'm middle aged, I'll probably have some sort of horrible midlife crisis. Because seriously, every time I have worked for somebody else, it's been bad. It's been bad.
At least it hasn't been Talos
Scared.
one bad.
It hasn't been Talos 1 bad. Like either in terms of the working conditions or the project that I was working on. I have fortunately never worked on anything that is an abomination to God and mankind.
Alright, I really am not using these EMP charges that often, so let's get some good use out of it now.
For a minute there, I thought we had looped back to the bridge, honestly, or the lobby, honestly. Ooh, that was a pretty good stun. It did substantially less damage than I had been hoping for, though.
Hey, well, you know, you gotta be really close for the shotgun to do its thing.
No, I was referring to the EMP charge.
Oh yeah, it only really tickles the Voltaic Phantom.
It didn't have
Well, let's
EMP.
go.
Never mind.
Well, they're only electrical. they're not like, you know, full proper things. Yeah, so you probably can tell the bridge isn't actually attached to a point in the station where you can just look out the windows and see things. They realized that was really dumb, and you know, like made it just so what everybody's seeing is entirely on the cameras, so you get a really cool sort of moment where you can sort of, you know, fix the camera in place, change the camera's rotation, change which part of the station the camera is looking at, so you can make sure everything's going all right out there. You know, it's like,
I suppose it would have been really disappointing to only have the massive looking glass setup used in the very beginning, or the very what's the word I'm looking for, prologue of the game.
yeah, no, the looking glass is such an integral part to the station. I love it. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. It in and of itself very much defines the aesthetic of the station more than anything else. Like, even this bridge.
I got an SOS from a Kirk Remmer. I was gonna route him to security, but we got cut off. He said he was at the escape pods in life support.
So call Chief Show up. Storage. I'm not a network engineer.
You're his supervisor?
Lady, do you people even know what is happening down here? One of my cargo bays is blown wide open, and I've got multiple MIAs. Please tell me there's a medical team on the way.
I'm sorry, I don't know, but I can relay your message to Dr. DeVries and...
Christ, I've gotta go.
Way
That
above
was
her
kind of
pay
all
grade.
over the place.
Chief, yeah, so I checked that flight plan for the volunteer shuttle like you requested. You're right, it went dark for 12 minutes before it resumed a path towards Earth, but at a slightly different trajectory than before.
Damn it!
It's almost
Mimic, we're trying to listen.
unnoticeable, like it left from a different part of the station, or changed its flight pattern around Talos.
12 minutes? What about the other shuttles?
It's only the volunteer shuttles, but it's all of them. They go dark 8 to 10 minutes after leaving the station, then suddenly reappear. The VIP shuttles don't show the same irregularity.
Got it. Don't talk to anyone about this.
Yeah, that would be wise.
That would be them dropping the people off who they were going to be sending back to Earth. You know, back to the
Scuttle
station
charges.
again.
Gee.
I'm setting down for posterity my deliberation over the fate of the shuttle Advent. I'm unable to determine with confidence if the Advent departed before being contaminated by the life forms presently overwhelming Talos 1. Best guess, based on telemetry data, Advent departed approximately 30 minutes prior to the first incident report logged by security. 30 minutes. It is within that narrow gap of uncertainty I must decide whether or not to remote detonate the shuttle and its 5 passengers. They may very well be flying a cargo hold full of mimics to an unsuspecting Earth. They may not.
Captain, we could sure as hell use that golden gun right about now.
I don't...
Mimic sounds.
Alex, this is Captain Marks. I'm calling to let you know I've authorized a full evacuation of Talos 1. I've tried to issue a mayday to Earthside operations, but our external communication systems are malfunctioning. If you're still with us, we're keeping our posts until the last pods are safely away. Marks out.
So I mentioned there was a conundrum for you as a player that has no reward and it has no amazing tangible benefits. You have to coldly and impassively decide if you wish to destroy a shuttle full of people who are unaware of the outbreak, but maybe, only maybe, carrying life forms back to Earth. So, and you can't, and obviously there's no way to communicate to Earth to let them know to just take flamethrowers inside there. And since we've decided to not kill anybody with the poll, I'm just gonna let that happen. So we just have to let the 5-minute timer from there time out, and that's it. There is no earth-shattering kaboom when you press the button. It simply just ends the quest.
Thank you,
It's
Marvin.
brilliant in how cold it is, in how just it happens. I love it. It's like one of my favorite, most brilliantly understated quests in the game, and is part of what I really like about Prey and the decisions it makes you make. Oh, so it was a birthday party. Well, there you go.
Oh, all right.
They didn't even have any balloons. That sucks.
And
No wonder
also
everybody
no cake,
fucking
and
died.
also nothing that said happy birthday, and also nothing that would have given you the slightest damn hint, except for this email in the middle of nowhere. Just saying. But
speaking of going dark, we didn't mention it, and I think maybe we saw something about it at some point there while we were listening to everything, but there was a interesting point of incident mentioned last episode in the Shuttle Bay. Apparently there is like a dark government facility in space near Talos 1.
Wait,
apparently.
what?
That was one of the things we said, like, how come you guys didn't mention that? So I'm mentioning it now. There is
Okay.
there is a rather disturbing thing about space at the moment, and it's like we're not the only person doing terrible, horrible, no good, very bad things in space. It would seem like.
So, I mean, I'm hearing that this is basically like CIA black site, right?
Yeah, like one of the
Okay.
volunteer ship things found like a drifting vessel, and when they went near it to help out, another vessel turned up and said, "You shouldn't be here. Leave." And the guy was like, in the distance, I could sort of make out the shape of a facility we were clearly not aware of.
Like, okay.
Thing open. Where's Danielle?
Still not answering. What's wrong?
Danielle tied the lock to her voice. We need her to speak the
Womp
key phrase or
womp.
we're not getting in here.
Would voice samples work? Transcribe recordings?
Yes, if they have the right words. Or if we gathered enough to map her voice to a consonant and vowel list and started running patterns.
I'll see if I can find her. Or her transcribe. I'll check her room first.
All right, Ivy, but look, don't do anything stupid. Ivy? Ivy? Shit.
Oh,
So this
Okay.
treasure map will come into relevance later. But yeah, Danielle Shaw, who was the extremely angry lady who had just ended her relationship talking to the psychiatrist, is the head of Deep Storage, and she's locked that place down.
With the necessary software. It's how you made my voice. Danielle's cabin might be a good place to get started.
so for what it's worth, this part is actually no longer science fiction, and hasn't been for a couple of years for what it's worth. It is entirely possible, given current technology, to effectively Photoshop voices around to the point where if you have a particular voice with a large enough, what's the word I'm looking for, corpus of data, for example, President Obama, you can train something to have that voice say pretty much whatever it is you want it to say. There's a number of demonstrations on YouTube where excuse me, where they have President Obama saying just like a bunch of random things that the man has never said, but you could easily fool anybody on the planet that he was saying just a bunch of completely nonsensical things, like the Earth's core is made of cheese or whatever the hell they were doing with it, just because the technology is now that good. Kind of creepy.
Yeah. And so we've we've let the Advent land. So welcome to the living quarters. We are on a journey to either find the Danielle show or find enough of her transcribes to be able to map her voice.
Another
And
for me with black eggs behind your eyes. Come closer.
Black eggs behind your
Yes.
eyes.
A little closer.
Huh. What the hell was that?
that was Will Mitchell.
What? You want to come into a kitchen? Good. Come.
So there are a lot of mind-controlled people around here, and some telepaths in the general area. Thankfully, we have a power that allows us to drop them, to take them out of the game permanently.
Mm-hmm. I presume that the cook is also completely done with this bullshit and is luring them into the kitchen so they just blow themselves up.
Yes, he has a good array of.
You can't fight the beast voice.
He's been killing quite a few of them, as you can see. Effectively.
What was that? Yep, that's the telepath.
Let's
Just stay nice and unaware for a moment longer. Excellent.
There we go.
Psycho Shock
We
3.
New sound aptitude available.
And the voice of the psychoscope will never not creep me out a little.
How many?
Yeah, giant handfuls of these things. Let's see what fun we can have with the thing. And of course, the Q beam.
I would.
And then we can combo that in with our ability to slow down time. And away we go. Although it would look like we might have missed him with the null wave because it's giving us the warning that he's going to like throw something at us. But that's okay, because we're not using psychic powers. We're melting him with beams.
Ah, crud.
Or not?
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Yes. Good night, sweetheart.
The puppets.
Ow. Also.
Hurt quite a lot there. Kind of pushing it.
Kill Bill.
I'm like, oi, 20 health left.
Yeah,
I'm just
seriously.
gonna eat everything.
I would if I was you. I mean, that sounds like something to just eat all of the food on.
You. When no more puppets, maybe we talk.
Yeah, so as before, you drop the telepath and all the individuals under its control drop. There is obviously more than one telepath here, so we haven't dropped everybody, just everybody here in the extremely large cafeteria. The living area is, as you would expect for a space station, massive.
This entire area is almost comically massive, but yeah, seriously, this place takes vaulted ceilings to an entirely new level.
When you think about the sheer amount of people that would be required on a space station, with all the different things they're doing with neuromods and human study and maintenance and the hardware labs and research they're doing there, and also it's just you have to house so many people.
Even then, this just seems excessive. What is this, 30-foot ceilings? You could stuff a Cybertronian in here.
Well, you never know what alien life forms you might encounter in space. You know, what if the nightmare wants to sit down to eat?
I say that's fair, actually. Even nightmares have to have their morning Joe.
As long as they don't have their morning Morgan. Gonna poke around a little bit more. Not nearly enough food out here. William has been stinging us something fierce, Mr. Chef.
It really messes with me how there are unconscious ex-puppets and incredibly bloody corpses right next to each other like that.
Your suit. What is in your name tag? You? M.U.? M.U. You killed this yourself. Ah. If you want to come in, be safe. You go. Get something of mine, huh? Here, key. It opens my room. Go there. Get my award. It's important to me. Then, maybe we talk.
The facial animations of that guy were absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what's your impression of our chef there?
Oh,
What do
he's
you
totally
reckon about him?
shady. I mean, he's like, get my award. Yeah, award for what? Last time I heard a chef talk about his awards like that, I was playing Viscera Cleanup Detail, and it was the guy the guy before you who had the office, who had like a bunch of giblets in the basement that he had harvested from his cleanup jobs. Dude was sick. You know, so is he on the level? Hell to the no. You know, I will be very surprised. Concierge. Yeah, sure, why not?
That is our friend the pianist who was brought up for Dr. Igwe. Like, obviously the last intruder is the last one, but yeah, he spends the rest of the time just complaining about everything. Like, he's a
Basement in
bit of a
space?
butthole.
What is this? A center for ants?
Yeah, so look, this place is big.
Good lord.
Very big.
What
Get
is
the
this?
container set up.
This is pretty weird, Quentin.
I know, but if we...
I don't want to know. I'm doing this as a favor, that's all.
Cargo container 3232. It's on the other side of cargo bay B, next to the utility tunnel.
When I was head chef at the Space Institute, no one asked me to conceal food in a cargo container.
Just go easy on the ill, all right?
Yeah, that tied back to the nonsense from before. I get the feeling like they considered the food aspect, but probably not the airtight sealed container aspect of it.
Interesting. So beyond everything we've known about the smuggling ring, we also know that somebody was aware of them enough to put known associates under surveillance.
Oh yeah, well because Galeos, or however you pronounce her name, was quite open in asking questions and stuff. They were getting concerned that she was going to do exactly what she did. So they were keeping a very close eye on her.
Sad
You can't
times.
get a code for this room, but it's like, why would I wait? I want shotgun shells now.
I
Give
would
me all
also
the
want
shotgun
those
shells.
3 neuromods right now.
Yeah, give me them suit mods. Whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hold on to
When are
those.
you even going
for
to
now.
upgrade anymore? It seems like you've done all of the important
Oh, there is
things,
still still a lot more we can jam into a lot of our guns.
rather. You say so.
Station is just hurting. Keep going.
Yeah, no, you're totally not creepy, Mr. Mitchell. I mean, just keep talking in my ear like this. Recycler charges will never stop making me giggle internally. Like,
Oh, they are fantastic.
watching everything tilt over and be all okay, and be all I'm gonna do it, and then it just sort of goes in one massive glorious flash of light. Just beautiful.
Yeah, so welcome to the actual rooms in the living area. The people of significant importance, pardon my answer. The people of significance get their own little like cabins like this. The people of like executive level get their own suites, which are much larger and fancier.
Oh,
And
this
everybody else gets like you saw what the volunteers were sleeping in. They basically just get little bunks like that.
Sure.
I mean, there's like only so much space in a space station.
Yeah, I mean, I feel.
Gee,
like
I wonder why the power was flickering. Yeah, it totally is just the station, I guess.
Station.
I'm gonna
just
make this
for
guy
a-
non-aggressive.
Damn. Nice. That's helpful.
It only lasts for a little bit, but that's what Mind Jack does to non mind controlled humans. It just makes them extremely passive.
So, I mean, did you renew the mind jack in the middle there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that all of a sudden makes sense. I didn't notice you redoing the mind jack, so I just sort of like did it just sort of flicker back there for some reason or something?
There's someone coming. If I had to venture to guess, it's probably someone else who's been mind controlled.
Just made enough of
There are a
racket
few
about it.
people just stumbling around, but it's actually a phantom of somebody who was alive, but he's not anymore.
Womp womp.
Sucks to be that person. Put some fire.
Only the dead have seen the end of the Typhon.
The activation of a fire trap does actually sort of like get their attention too. So you like that sort of in its own way. Like I'd never really messed with the power before, so I was sort of just still.
It certainly
learning
does make
with
it a lot more difficult to use if you can't just set up a trap right in front of somebody. I mean, you
You
have
have
to
to sort
enough
of know
foresight
what's
to use
coming
it.
and
Yeah.
set it up in advance and lure them over to it.
Actually, I know I know the reason why the recycler catches my eye all the time. I don't know if you ever read any of the series Dies the Fire. It's like a legit
No, I have
question,
not.
dude. Okay, all right.
I have not.
Okay, so the series itself is not especially important for this purpose, but it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic fantasy thing. There's a change where a cataclysmic event happens, and then after that, basically anything more advanced than like a water wheel doesn't work anymore. And the words hard sometimes, and the way that they describe the change actually happening is this like blinding flash of white light that is so harsh it like invades the individual nerves in people's eyes or whatever and just makes this incredible stabbing pain. And in terms of there being a massive white flash that hurts a lot and then all of a sudden nothing is there anymore, sounds like a recycler charge to me.
Someone throwing them around. So yes, we have the golden gun now. It is actually a straight upgrade in all aspects from the regular pistol. It does more damage. It's just better.
I was gonna ask if it was still silenced.
This is Hans Keltrup's room. So it's interesting. Like he seemed like just a general douchebag. It seems like he likes to go back to his room and work on stuff in his room, which is really unusual. But he's got looks like he might have been one of the ones working on the eels. And we will get into what the eels are soon. Oh, so I'm borrowing one of his
for
shoes.
one thing.
Yeah, all right. They have a purpose. That's quite interesting. So yeah, let's shoo our way in.
You're
over
ready
here.
to play Monopoly.
I am. Although I think they took the boot out, didn't they? They revamped it and took like a couple of the pieces out and added like some other garbage.
The
I think they
shoe
took
is
the
still
boot
in,
out.
isn't it?
I don't know. They took out something good. I know that much.
Yeah, I
It's
think they
like
took
a
out the
completely-
thimble, which is what I always played as. I mean, seriously, how can you not like a thimble? Because my buddies always fought over the race car, and I'm just like, you know what? It's just not that stylish. You guys think it is, but it's actually not.
It seems our Michaela was also up to something, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on in Psychotronics, and she seemed to have made out that Galeos was somebody that might be willing to talk, and they never got the opportunity to speak.
I think it would be a shorter list at this point to list who wasn't up to something in on Talos 1.
Yeah, definitely wasn't a whole lot of trust. Also, hey, it's Dr. Igwe's room.
Okay.
There is some stuff to do in Dr. Igwe's room, but we're not going to do it just yet. He's got a photo up there of him with the musician. I'm just gonna take a few bits and bobs, but I'll leave the lion's share of it elsewhere because we have a reason to come to it here, and I'm trying not to sequence break it too badly.
But you're showing much more restraint about this than I would.
Yeah, I'm trying not to I do it. If I do it, it's an accident. If I'm like with that other quest, which we will get the thing for shortly. It's I don't really wanna do it accidentally.
Honestly,
I kind of want to make these quests happen organically rather than listen to something and they go mission complete.
Oh, okay then. Trophy. What is your trophy here?
What the hell did you do to that thing, Mitchell?
Oh God.
Sounds like an anti-waffle commercial.
Well, I didn't see it as an override per se. It was just the operator's conversation sequencer. They're usually so grim.
Do you know how many security protocols you broke?
Well, Morgan said it was all right. Even helped me.
I'm Operator Skillet in this show. My, you sound like you could use a healthy dose of
Wow.
buddy.
This is an AB conversation, Skillet.
Apologies, Chef. I'll see my way out.
All of that just happened.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, if you're trying to work out how to build your own special operator like January, you might jump at the chance to help somebody else make a prototype.
Oh yeah, you can make all of your mistakes working for somebody else. I unironically did that when we were learning to do Let's Plays. I was just I had no fucking idea how to do my own commentary, so I guessed it on a bunch of other poor saps' LPs and made all of my mistakes there. Well, not all of my mistakes, but most of them. Mimic, your time is over. Just chill out.
More problematic than the Mimic, something's doing my gimmick and has turned all the taps on.
This is plagiarism. You'll sue.
Yeah, how dare they? What kind of a...
Oh, come on.
Yeah, well, when the stalls are rocking, it's pretty obvious
Yeah,
who's knocking.
seriously. Poltergeist, come out and play. Come out wherever you are.
Where do you suppose they came from? I don't know, but I know where I'd like them to go.
Hell.
Assassin is required.
Wow. Did he... You didn't kill him, did you? No, he's still gotta be around.
Yeah, he's still around.
There you are.
Jerk. There we go. Problem solved.
Wonder which
Now the
one
doors
those
can.
were.
Now the doors are all broken on their hinges.
Also, I am surprised but pleased to see my expectations subverted that his award was just a medallion. I'm certain that there could still be something about it that is horrible and creepy, but honestly, I was expecting it to be some dude's head or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Exotic materials right in the middle of it. Is that what I think it is? That's exactly what I thought it was. A Mech Warrior reference. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh man.
This is Jorgen's room. I remember Jorgen was the guy in charge of Hardware Labs. It's like we're flashbacking to all these dead people. This is Bellamy's room. We've been trying to get to Bellamy's room for ages.
I guess we have.
He's got some.
I'll take your word for it. I had difficulty keeping up.
It's been a side quest for forever. We had to dig up his thing from the morgue because he's got some research data. So this actually saves us having to scan a few things. Considering how rare the poltergeist is in its appearance, they put in a side quest that would make it a little easier to get some more information. So we got lift, and if we hadn't scanned a lot more phantoms and stuff, I think there was something else.
Interesting.
Yeah, basically quite handy. And we're gonna put some more chipsets in because it's like, hey, let's actually use
Chipsets
some more
own-
about this.
This is known. Slowly regenerate psi over time.
I wanted to check and see if you could stack them. You cannot. Yeah, so I have a resistance to Psycho Shock now, and upon killing a Typhon, there's a chance to trigger a Fear Blast on another Typhon.
It seems rather situational.
Well, now they fear me properly, so that's gonna be good.
Okay,
Now I will terrorize them.
You sold me with that.
Now they
wasn't
truly
on your
understand
side.
what they are facing.
Yeah. I wasn't on your side, and then I was. Paper. It amazes me that you're like doing the job of the janitor here, leaving this place pretty much like as clean as you possibly can, and it's all for the sake of having materials to put together other things that will that will, add to the pain.
For drugs.
Truly, the janitor is the most dangerous person on a space station. Ow, dick.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was Ivy Song's dead body. She was the one who was coming looking for Danielle.
Yep, that's not really surprising.
And what is surprising is Danielle's actually a part of the
D&D
a part of
game.
the Fatal Fortress game.
That's kind of cool.
That we're gonna learn a little bit more about that group as we go through the living area. Oh,
Is there another
looks like there's another poltergeist.
poltergeist?
As you can see, we actually had that thing fully scanned by the looks of things.
Mm-hmm. Freaking punk. Man, that's a really cool enemy type. Just because they're even now that we know what it is and what it's doing and what it's all about, there's still that moment of confusion and faint dread when you see everything moving the way it shouldn't.
Yeah. Oh,
So good.
it adds a little bit to the ambience. So yeah, this is Danielle Show's room. Someone's obviously broken into it, which was likely Ivy. This will tell you where to find all the transcribes, and she's taken her tracking bracelet off. So if you want to find her, you're not going to find her conventionally.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah, Dr. Calvino apparently just like emailing Danielle and asking her if it's okay to use this particular password. She's like, could you just not? No wonder Danielle is so highly strung. She's the one who has to deal with all of these people. And the other important thing to know, yeah, and that's another thing that tells us that she did a performance singing that's recorded in a section of the living quarters, and this is a side quest, the treasure hunt. Danielle's, I suppose,
actually the
ex-girlfriend. No, Abigail's the GM.
Oh,
Now,
okay, my mistake.
No,
We'll
this
just-
sounded serious, so I wanted to shut my transcribe off. So you're asking me if it's okay to record our game on the transcribes. Yes, I know using the memory, it's not right. I can't be having this conversation. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna lose my job for even talking to you about this.
You're really
What?
not.
What? Exactly. What you're going to do is have dinner with me. What? You say what a lot when you should say yes. Yes? See? All settled. Don't worry about the transcribes. It's not against regulation. So, are you interested in this game or not?
I like her. She's cool.
What are you doing? Are you recording this? Joint transcripts are fun. They are not. It's like mental scrapbooking. You both save the moments that matter.
Okay.
Dear future us. Today, future us, we are not calling ourselves that. Today, I was able to convince my beautiful but stubborn partner to stay in bed and not report for an extra shift. And this is the reward I get.
Honestly, stubborn is pretty much the one word that I would use to describe Danielle so far. I don't know why she finds that so shocking.
Yeah, they're very much oil and water, those two, and it's kind of cute. Like,
Yeah,
here's Dr. Lorenzo's room. But yeah, that treasure hunt thing. I just want to go back and talk about it.
Sure.
Everybody was given by Abigail a little map, and we picked one up earlier in this video. That little piece of paper that corresponds to a actual location in the station. And at that location, and they even tell you where to look, you'll find a number. And when we get to Abigail's room, which we can't get into right now because we don't have a key, we have to find Abigail, where she left her key. We've got to you've got to enter it in the correct order that she's given regarding who she's handed it to, and you will get a special suit modification called I think it's Game Master's Favor, and it makes your wrench attack stronger and does a whole bunch of other stuff. It's kind of cool.
I get the feeling that Abigail was somebody's favorite character in Arcane, and I have absolutely no problem with this.
She was a wonderful spirit that probably does not deserve to get stuck in this station.
Definitely true.
But I could not remember our anniversary.
So we were talking a video ago about the concept of how a neuromod could be used to cure problems of, like Alzheimer's, senility, and things like that. It's kind of showing that that's not the case. Even with these neuromods and everything, Lorenzo is still degrading, and a lot of what he's doing with what he's trying to do here is he's trying to come up with a way to stimulate things enough that he's able to remember these things again. So between him and Morgan's been helping him with these things, presumably because of everything that he'd been going through.
Interesting.
So yeah, that was, and like I said, I love that little display. It's so romantic. He's just trying to remember his deceased wife and everything like that. It's just cool. It's just cool. I like it. It gives you yet another side to someone you probably saw and thought was a weird idiot, and it just turns out he was a man struggling with the loss of his own mind, something nobody copes well with, and on top of the strange things that were happening regarding the Typhon infestation and the visions he was having. So he was under a great deal of pressure.
It's almost like life itself was gaslighting him, because he was losing his mind to some extent, but it's if the hallucinations were the only thing he would have to deal with, I feel like with all of the things he was trying, he could have at least gotten something resembling a handle on it. Of course, then all of this weird crap keeps happening with regard to the Typhon infestation, and giving quote-unquote hallucinations that are nonetheless incredibly real. So, very weird. Very weird. Poor guy.
Malia, I have an important request. It's sensitive, though. I need to know I can trust you with a surveillance matter.
Yes, of course, sir. It's just that normally I can't do something like that without consent from Chief Elazar HR and another director.
Those people report to me, Malia.
Yes, sir. I understand.
I want you to keep an eye on Annalise Gallegos. Where she goes, how she keeps visitors.
I'll log everything on the security computer.
Good. Send me a report at the end of the week.
Yes, sir.
Alex,
It's interesting he's going around Sarah Elazar on that, don't you think?
Right. It was like, Alex, you're a little bit too weird.
Just a neuromod hangover. I feel weird.
I can't believe you got modded for Alex's clown show at the Tulip.
Are you kidding? I've always wanted to play an instrument, but never had
Danielle does not like the use at all.
So, it's like I can see the sheet music in my head. I feel like I've been doing this since I was 7. Besides, you are going to be on stage with me, right?
Only to catch you if you suddenly collapse. And only if you keep me from punching Alex if I drink too much. You've got me really curious.
Are you ready for your instructions, my lady?
Wait, what?
This better not get us into trouble. Not too much trouble, anyway.
First, you must journey to the tree where we carved our initials.
And what if I bump into Julian Howard?
Run like hell. Julian the ogre does not like people touching his trees. Fruit.
Probably be a lot less grumpy.
Anyway, beneath a stone you will find a magical key card. This key card will unlock everything your heart desires.
Oh, well, I don't need a key for that.
And don't worry about work. Michaela said you could take an extra shift since it's your birthday.
Brilliant.
And yes, that was the one that we already had. And damn, Lawrence Baker just has one of those voices that's like, I kind of want to go, like, meet him in the closet.
Seriously, I don't care who you are at that point. At that point, you are paying all sorts of attention.
Yeah, it's like you look down, you're like, oh wow, my pants just left. Got one of those voices that it's just Anyway,
moonshine. Now
Yeah.
I want to try to make some crap like that. Rosalind.
so here's the character of Rosalind Swift. So we got
Oh man,
the-
frickin' Dungeons and Dragons not a knockoff being an entire subplot in this game. It's just one of the more charming things I've seen in video games. for a long
as has been
damn
pointed
time.
out, Fatal Fortress is like another term for that is Ox Fatalis, if I'm recalling correctly, which is a
Yes, somebody did.
That was
mention
that was
I
mentioned
completely
in the
forgot about
thread.
That. Yep, that is a true story.
Huh.
That is a true story.
If MU comes back, let MU in. But
But what? Could you finish your thought, sir?
Don't think he likes other people.
Not certain
I think
it's so much about
he's
not liking other people.
Hello.
Okay, man. Exterior
You can't do
breach
anything because
detected
there's
beyond
breach.
this point.
Yeah. So if we want to get into some of those suites out there, we gotta go spacewalking, which we will do next video.
Man.
Hey, it's our room.
Oh, hey. I wasn't paying attention. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Your cabin. No, I think it's you cabin. Look, it's our family. That's what our mom and our dad look like.
Wow, that's
Our dad is from China. Our mother is from Germany.
quite the what's the word I'm looking for there?
Don't notice anything wrong. Eidetic memory. Work obsessed. Perfect medical record. No absences.
Okay.
This is the stuff
Oh,
basically
these are-
Morgan uses to get on the catch up.
Dislikes you. Dislikes Alex more. Find out why. Never too quick.
I'm starting to note that the people who are, the best characters hate the used.
Research. Chef Mitchell, an emotive operator hack. Dio Igwe, one of Alex's hires. Cheap to recruit due to his unpopular stance on psychic phenomena. One of station's best scientists. Introvert. Knows about Tess. Loyal to Alex. Believes your brother and Typhon can save his career.
Okay.
Michaela Ilyushin, chief engineer. Not on speaking terms. Had brief relationship. You ended it when Tess began. She believes it is because you discovered her medical condition. Paraplexis. Convenient. False. Severing ties seemed prudent to you. Less painful, given the impending memory loss.
Did you hear that? Just that voice just cracking just at the end? It's
Given
good
the
voice acting.
given the impending memory loss, that
Like really didn't want to break up with her.
all of a sudden just got punched directly in the gut, and you're trying to hold it together.
Not a friend. Knows about the Typhon. Not about your test, but suspects. Is trustworthy, but doesn't trust Alex. Or you, yet.
Yeah, Sarah's been trying to find out about the experiments, which is why she was asking about things like the things like the shuttles and stuff.
Did you just drop a deuce in the toilet?
I dropped a
for
gloose.
no reason?
Excuse me.
Come on,
dropped-
man.
Have you seen me go to the toilet at all during this Let's Play?
live
Thank you.
Here.
Anyway,
Oh, that.
hey, this is I think head of sales.
Was
head of sales. Anyway.
I really
The
appreciate that
executives.
you've taken to just drinking everybody's alcohol. I'm not being ironic here. I really do appreciate that.
Oh, that's fine. Also, I'm not sure what's up with that. I'm I'm surprised if that's a problem. It hasn't been fixed yet. It wasn't fixed in like a patch that fixed a few other things. Because it's just like shouldn't be there.
Oh well. What was that? Oh right, yeah. The picture in Morgan's cabin just reminded me of one of those ridiculous those ridiculous oil paintings that you see on like old money mansions. I remember the first time I saw something like that was when I went to the Vanderbilt mansion in Asheville, North Carolina. It was just like, do you realize you're a self-parody? Because this is what makes you a self-parody.
You find it? You back? Come to window. Show me.
Uh-huh. Whatever, man. You just relax.
You found something? Have to let you in. Promised.
Could you stop brandishing that
side
spoon?
entrance.
You can go in and say hello.
If this is gonna turn into a Dead Rising fight, I'm
Wait.
getting up and leaving.
A minute.
Well, the video is just about over, so there you go.
It would be just like you to leave it on a cliffhanger to a boss battle.
You're safe now. The beasts, they cannot get in.
Turrets.
That's good.
But look at this. We have food, but no water. This pressure regulator, it is broken. System automatic cut off until fixed. You can find a replacement part in the greenhouse, I think. With water, we can wait for rescue. No water? Do this favor, I'll let you into freezer. That's where I hid all the puppets the beasts sent first. Maybe they have useful things for you, no?
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a regulator back in the greenhouse, which I didn't pick up, but I can just fix it because I'm really good at this sort of thing. There you go.
All sorts taken care of.
You fix? Smart one. Here, I open freezer now, like I promised. Lots of dead puppets and supplies.
Eat all of the eels.
Yeah, I'm picking them all up for eating later.
No eggs behind your eyes. No black swimming. Others come, try to act human. Get me to open the door.
This guy, there's just something fucking wrong with him. I'm sorry. This goes straight into to Uncanny Valley all sorts of ways. Yep. I knew that was wrong.
So, everybody probably was picking up quite a lot of interesting cues there as we went through, which I'd like to talk about now. You might have heard we were talking over it a bit towards the end there, but when we got him the award and we went in there, he said, "Hold on a moment," and you heard a lot of loud smashing. He sent us off to get an award, somewhere far away and in danger. So, like, the biggest hit, however, though, is and I was kind of surprised you didn't mention this. He didn't actually resemble the William Mitchell in the transcribes.
He was way fatter. Yeah.
He was way fatter. He had glasses. He was kind of balding.
Also lacking the mustache.
Yeah. So consider for a moment. We have somebody in with a weird Russian-y sort of accent in a room full of telepaths, and it didn't seem like any of them could actually control him. You wouldn't think that it would be possible to really escape them that easily. Remember, there is only one person on this station immune to telepathy.
Yep.
That we have recorded. So yeah, consider that for a moment. We just encountered Volunteer 37. And I always found that really funny because you look at the wiki thing on it, and like they try to there's like a prey specific wiki on the net, and they talk about why he might want you to go get the award because maybe he installed some neuromods to make machine. No, guys, he was trying to kill you. He was trying to send you off somewhere so you die. Because he just doesn't he just wants all of the people on the station to fucking die because of what he's been through. So I just found it really funny. I was like, oh, maybe he's no, he's trying to kill you. He was trying to get you to go away and die. First he sent you to where there was a Voltaic Phantom, so you'd die. Then he tried to send you off to the greenhouse where there's a telepath, so you die. And then he sticks you in the freezer and turns it on, so you'll die.
I think the primary reason why I kept getting more and more unsettled by that guy is as you did more things for him, he got more and more angry at you, not more and more pleased.
Yeah. So we'll be continuing on in the living quarters after that, because obviously that doesn't kill us.
Yeah.
God, you get locked in cold places a lot in like Bioshock games too. It kind of makes me laugh.
Theme.
Yeah, like it just seems to happen. So until then, as we continue to live in quarters, look for Danielle show, try to get our access to deep storage. I've been the Last Robo Guy,
And I've been Cool Guy.
and we'll see y'all next time.